So I'm back to yours. And another one.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to this week's Monkey Nut Punch podcast.
That's better. That's better. Much slicker. Very well done.
I literally don't know who this fella is. He's just rocked up. So I don't know who this Mr. Keefy is.
Some loser.
Some sort of droning. Just droning on.
Bloke just goes on and on.
On. Hello, and welcome to this week's Monkey Nut Punch podcast. And this week, we'll have a bit more of a structured conversation, even though we did have a rather disjointed one last week.
And it was nice.
It was nice. I just wanted to do something a little different, just because it's fun. I've got Coupling on DVD. I will send that to you, and we're going to review that.
Oh, it turned up.
It turned up. It turned up on Friday. I'm going to watch through it.
Nice. Have you seen Coupling?
No.
Dude.
I've obviously heard of it because Gareth has spoken about it before.
It's brilliant.
And he showed me little clips here and there, but I've never, watched episodes.
Jeff.
I've heard of Jeff.
Jeff is the best.
And I've seen his lovely mask that he accidentally wore to the calf.
So, yeah.
I am Giselle.
Oh God, yes. Right. You have to. It makes me smile just thinking about it. It's funny. But this week we're going to talk about Richard Donner at the beginning, and then we're going to go into some dismal Disney, and then maybe some good news on the horizon in regards to Star Trek. Oh God, I hope it's true. And then we're going to be talking about Loki and some other bits, and finish off with funny stories. So, without further ado, it's time to get into the movie news. No, Gary. Okay, Richard Donner passed away not last week, but I think it was a couple of weeks before. And Keith wasn't around to talk about it, and last night, and he went, "Who's Richard Donner?"
I'm still saying who is he?
Richard Donner. Yeah. So I found this nice article in NME. Richard Donner's greatest films from The Omen to Lethal Weapon. And I didn't know he worked on The Omen, but yeah, he worked on that.
Oh, I've got The Omen.
The Omen.
Yeah, I've got.
Which
I've
one?
got that. I've
the
got
60s one.
Is there three?
Yeah.
I've got a 3-pack of DVD. Not properly watched them, but I've got them.
The Omen was. The Good Omens was what spawned from The Omen. That's what influenced Good Omens. The David Tennant another thing. That's legendary film. The Omen. Didn't it have Sam Neill in it? The Omen, or was that a remake?
It may have had a young Sam Neill in it. I don't know. I was going to go through these movies to see which ones you've seen, which ones you haven't.
No,
the first one was one called X-15, credited here as Richard Donner's director's first picture. It's difficult now to find on DVD or VHS or out-of-print DVD. It was released in 2004. Sorry, it wasn't released in 2000. It was 1961, but the DVD was released in 2004. As well as giving his American sweetheart Mary Tyler Moore her big screen debut. The film tells a fictionalized account of the X-15 research rocket aircraft program, which was praised for its accurately depicting spaceflight. Not surprising, given that NASA had a role in consulting on the production. I've never heard of it.
No, I haven't.
I've seen it.
You've seen it?
Yep, Mary Tyler Moore. Of course, I've seen it because she was hot. Yes, I have seen it.
See, the thing I find funny is that they probably left out the bit that the what you call it, the bits at the back, what are they called, tail plane bits that go up and down.
Yeah,
that was stolen.
Aileron.
Well, it wasn't stolen.
Yeah.
It was given to them by the British because they couldn't figure out how to fix it. And we already had a solution because we were about to break the sound barrier, and they were told, no, let the Americans do it. It was like, all right, fair enough. And that's a really annoying story, that one is, because we were months ahead of getting past that sound barrier. We were close to getting past the sound barrier with the Mosquito, and that's propeller plane. That's how close we were, but hey-ho. Next one, Omen. Definitely seen the Omen. Yes. Patrick Troughton and a weather vane. That's the thing that sticks out most in my mind. I watched the remake, and it wasn't Patrick Troughton, it was someone else, and they got decapitated by a sign. And I burst out laughing. There was one bit that happened where I jumped up in my chair and went, what the fuck? Because I wasn't paying attention. But the bit where the guy gets decapitated by the sign, I pissed myself laughing because I was expecting a weather vane to get him. But that's one thing I remember about that. It was quite good. There's decapitation through a sheet of glass on this one. Right, so the next one on the list, Stope, you've seen this one. Superman in 1978.
I remember that fella.
Yes.
I remember that fella. Yes.
That bloke.
Yes.
Where's Blue? Puts his underpants on wrong.
Well, technically, Superman and Superman 2 were made. Well, they were made at the same time, shot at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how you see. Because right at the beginning of the first Superman movie, obviously you see Zod and his two cronies, thrown into the what's its face zone, the Phantom
Zone. Yeah,
and then they obviously come back in the second one, and that's why you see them there, because both movies were kind of shot together.
I just point out something. Yeah, when Superman goes spinning around the Earth, the Earth is not spinning backwards; he's going back in time. Okay, because everyone's like, kind of, it's going backwards. No, he's going back in time. So that's why everything was going back. It wasn't, because if it was just going backwards, and everyone would just be like, whoa.
Oh yeah, that's because her car is getting covered.
She got killed. Yeah.
I didn't know that was a Superman ability, to be honest. To go.
Oh no,
it wasn't.
No, Superman could do that. In the 70s, he had to shoot little people from his hands. He's got so many stupid powers. Maybe we should make a section on it. All right, another one. I hope you've seen this one. The Goonies, 1985.
Oh, we did that, did he?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
I didn't. Yeah, I actually really like the Goonies, and so do my kids. And I think for generations going on, I think generation after generation, they will like the Goonies too.
Mm-hmm.
He's made some cracking films, hasn't he?
He has made some cracking films. He's one of those people who kind of went up and then kind of petered out a bit.
Yeah.
Next one, never heard of this one. Lady Hawk, a dark medieval fantasy starring Matthew Broderick, Rutger Hauer, Michelle Pfeiffer. Much overlooked curiosity from Donna's filmography. Donna had to fight to get financing for this. Almost coming close twice, but yeah, it was supposed to be filmed in England. Yeah.
It rings a bell. I think I have seen
Rutger Hauer. It's the Rutger Hauer is the bad guy, isn't he? It's got to be the bad guy. Yeah.
I think I have seen that. It rings a bell. Michelle Pfeiffer. That does ring a bell.
Okay. Next one. Definitely had this one. This is one of those nice popcorn flicks. Lethal Weapon in 1987.
Yeah, I love it.
That's a good one. It was originally supposed to be directed by Leonard Nimoy.
Oh.
So Leonard Nimoy was supposed to be directing.
He was Spock, wasn't he?
Spock in Star Trek, yeah. Wow. Let's give that man a geek point.
I'll take the one.
Jesus Christ. You go away for a week and Nigel suddenly gets geek points. Fuck.
Yeah.
That's only the one, mate. This year, it's one.
But Leonard Nimoy was busy directing Three Men and a Baby.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I'm going to have to look that up.
I knew that.
I haven't watched Three Men and a Little Baby since 90-something.
Who was in that was
film? Because it was on TV.
It was Selleck,
Mike
Ted Danson, and what's his face?
Yeah.
Gutenberg. Steve Gutenberg.
Yeah. What's his name? Mahoney from Police Academy.
Police Academy. That's how I know him. Yeah. Yeah, it is. I've just Googled it. It is directed by him.
Okay. Next one. It's one of my Christmas films. 1998, Scrooged, with Bill Murray.
Okay.
Brilliant film. One of the best versions of the Christmas Carol. Genius, that film. Freaking genius. I love Scrooged.
Yeah, do you know what? It's one of those films that I don't mind watching when it's on.
It's genius.
Mostly because of Bill Murray, because I like him. But
yeah, it sounds awful. He plays a really good arsehole in it.
He does, doesn't he?
Sorry,
not like
Bill.
He's typecast or anything.
No. All right, no surprise to anyone listening. Lethal Weapon 2.
Yeah.
White bread, brown bread,
Yes.
Patsy Kensit doing a really bad South African accent, but it's still a good film, and she was hot.
Yes, that was one. Okay, right. Next surprise, Lethal Weapon 3.
Oh, who would have thought it?
Who would have thought it?
I would never have put money on that.
Okay, all right. So we've got the Lethal Weapon films, and then you got one called the Conspiracy Theory in 1997. I never heard of this one.
Conspiracy Theory. Who was in that?
That was Spotsumush, Mel Gibson, and Julie Roberts.
Yes, I have seen it.
I only know that because the picture on the trailer.
No, I've seen it. It's a good film.
Look at the picture going, oh, yeah, it's Julie Roberts in that. And it says...
I didn't know that was a Richard Donner film, but I have seen that.
That was a Richard Donner film. And that's the kind of list of Richard Donner bits. He's definitely done more.
But
they were just the notable ones.
So it just says here, he was executive producer on Free Willy, Tales from the Crypt, and X-Men films.
Yes, no, right. When it comes to the X-Men films, he was executive producer, but he wasn't allowed to do anything because of his wife. Because his wife said that he couldn't touch anything. He was allowed to do all the kind of stuff behind the scenes, but when it comes to any creative control, she didn't want him touching it because the wife loved his version of Superman, and then she watched the X-Men cartoon series, and she went, "I have to buy the rights to this." If I remember, that's how I remember the story. I don't know if that's correct. But it was definitely his wife that pushed for it, and I can't remember what was.
Is his wife in the movie industry as well? Then
yes, his wife is in the movie industry. Let's find out what his wife is. Not for work spouse, Lauren Schuler Donner. Lauren Schuler Donner, yeah, Lauren Donner, basically. She did the X-Men series of films for Fox up until a point. But if you look at the list of everything that's there. Just on tons of things there. She was also on Deadpool and the New Mutants. Sorry about that.
Have you seen the Deadpool unofficially joins the Marvel Cinematic Universe thing this week?
I was, and then I realised I've stopped liking the Marvel Cinematic Universe after I found out that Taskmaster was a woman and not.
Yeah, I know. But I did think it was funny with Korg. Because he had Korg on there. I know it's Taika Waititi, but I do like the Korg character. And he was reviewing Free Guy. So he was doing a trailer reaction as Deadpool to Free Guy with Korg from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It was quite funny. I like Ryan Reynolds, and that's the thing. It's why I'm almost like, oh, God, he's in the Marvel Cinematic Universe now, which means it's going to be ruined.
Yeah. I've got no faith anymore. They've lost their way. I think it was when they let Kevin Feige do whatever he wanted. You need someone to keep people like this in check. So it goes with everyone. Seriously, I think it's same. George Lucas. You look at what George Lucas did when he was out of check. If someone was there to keep him in check, they would have worked better. And you know that. So unchecked power is never any good. Plus the message. But we got more. We got loads of dismal Disney stuff. So let's quickly move on to the next one. This one for you, Keith. Because he's back. All right. So Taskmaster actress claims her character is stronger. Maybe as strong or maybe even stronger than the male comic book version of Taskmaster. And my reply to that is no, not in a fucking million years. You had to have a male stuntman perform all your bits. It's gender swapped, all this nonsense that comes in through this.
It was such a shit film. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
Have you actually seen it?
As soon as I found out,
don't.
Right. Taskmaster. I've said this before on the podcast. Taskmaster answers the question: where did all these people get their fucking henchmen from? Yeah, and they go to Taskmaster for it. Yeah, because Taskmaster, you could have Taskmaster would fit so well if they did properly inside the cinematic universe. He could be a thorn in everyone's side, always fucking getting away. It should have been Taskmaster taking over the Red Room, because Taskmaster would be, I've got regular soldiers, yeah, I can have Black Widow soldiers as well as it. So he could have been some kind of, I think it was supposed to be the arms dealer character initially, and then they swapped it out at the last minute.
It's such a shame, because I love Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow, and it could have been a really, really good film. It should have been made ages ago. It should have been made prior to Endgame, and it wasn't. It doesn't really make any sense. The thing is, right, Florence Pugh, I quite like her. She's been good in the things that I've seen her in, and Scarlett Johansson, we all know. But this film, they can't even use the couth as a thing, because it was made prior to that. But you know how you say how, like, when Doctor Who went over to being shit, how it felt really small and not claustrophobic.
That was like there was only a few people in the entire universe.
Yeah,
it's the same happened to the Flash recently, apparently.
Yeah, and it's in this movie. It just doesn't feel epic. It doesn't feel great. It doesn't feel big, and it could have been so much better. And it's all ideology. It's all, the whole Taskmaster thing just didn't make sense. It was there purely to piss people off. It was there purely to piss people off. And we know that so many of these fucking idiot writers in Hollywood that live in their bubble have admitted to this. It's not good.
Nicolas Cage has something to say on this further down. Right, but Taskmaster would have worked really well as a persistent bad guy in the Marvel universe, because he could have been, as I said before, he's the one providing people with stuff. He could be running secret operations. What they should have done is Taskmaster should have been the bad guy from the get-go. No one else. Yeah, no one knows who this Taskmaster fellow is. And then what you could have done is you could have then had it at the end unmasked. Oh my God, it's a woman. Hang on a second. She's got a chip in the back of her head. It's not the woman. Taskmaster has got away. Yeah?
Yeah, I
and
agree.
Then you've got a bad guy for Florence Pugh's Black Widow to go up against. And you should have had Hawkeye in it too. Yeah. Why did you not have fucking Hawkeye in it? Seriously, those two, Hawkeye and Black Widow, go together pretty well. You didn't have to have him in for the whole film, just the last third. Yeah? Could have had something like that. Yeah? I just, it was such a waste. It was such a waste. Just listening to people talk about it. And having that this female reveal of a male character nonsense is now really old. It is so old. Someone, I think, did a clip of all the reveals of characters, and they turn out to be women from TV shows and Marvel bits, and it's just like, oh, knock it off. I've had enough. The other thing that gets me is the fact that it was played by a stuntman all the way through up until the end. And you can see this because, one, you can see the bulge in his trousers, which the ladies noticed. And the other thing, too, his shoulders are huge. He's massive shoulders. And then all of a sudden, all the shoulders disappeared. But as I said before, you could have had it so Taskmaster was behind the whole thing. You wouldn't have heard him talk, do anything. He would have just been issuing orders. People would have just understood him, this, that, and the other. And it would have worked, because Taskmaster's got like, I can't really call it photo observation skills, where he can look at something and he can repeat it. And the story, his origin story, goes like this. As a kid, he watched a high diver dive off the high board and go into the thingy. So he goes to the swimming pool, recreates it perfectly. The problem is, didn't pay attention to the guy swimming, so he almost drowned. So the lifeguard pulls him out and goes, "You can't swim, but you can dive." But yeah, that's kind of... And then he was getting the AIM guys together so they could have things. Wasted opportunity. Real wasted opportunity. You could have had the reveal as Taskmaster as a woman at the end, only for to actual Taskmaster Tony or Anthony Masters to escape. And there's an episode of, I can't remember what it is, it's like Spider-Man or something, where Spider-Man and Deadpool go up against Taskmaster. And because Deadpool fights so fucking randomly, Taskmaster can't beat him. Yeah? So he could beat Spider-Man because Spider-Man's got patterns. So he can adapt to the patterns. But Deadpool, because he's just random and he does whatever he fucking feels like, and he's completely undisciplined in what he does, he has trouble taking him on. And the opportunity's gone. He would have worked good in a Deadpool film. Anyway, let's we'll move on to our next one. What's our next one? Oh yes, this is where we get to hear what's old crazy Nicolas Cage. I watched Con Air recently, and I watched it with my son because it was like my wife went away to go out drinking with the girls, and I was like, we'll watch a film. We always watch like a more like adult-y film, and we watched. It was a choice between Con Air and something else, but we picked Con Air in the end, and I forgot how good it was, and it's just like, put down the bunny. Awesome. Anyway, that's
put down the bunny.
Why can you put the bunny back in the ball?
It's a bad accent.
It's the bit that gets me. It's the bit where Cyrus the virus gets the bunny, and he goes, "Don't move, or the bunny gets it." What's his mission? What was his name? John Malkovich. Fabulous in that. Makes such a good bad guy. You're watching it for both the bad guy and the good guy. And he's got his supporting cast, and Nicolas Cage's got his supporting cast, and you've got...
And not forget the guy in the middle with the mask on. The freaky...
oh, yes.
Real creep.
Steve Buscemi. He's just freaky full stop.
Just freaky. He's freaky out of this film. But in the film, he's even more so.
Yeah, it's... that was such a good film. Anyway, let's move on to our next one.
God damn these electric sex pants.
Like a bit of electric sex pants. Right. This is a bit of a long one, so you have to bear with me for this one. Right, Nicolas Cage dishes the dirt on Disney. There's a lot of fear out there. Kind of what we've been told. Nicolas Cage is known for his roles in The Rock, Con Air, Face Off, National Treasure, Ghost Rider, and more recently claimed that Disney is full of fear and that he's not sure he'll ever work for the company again. Bit sad, but okay, fair enough. But sounds really weird. Given the position that Nicolas Cage is, because he's a bit of a Hollywood pariah, he's in a position to say, well, I've seen this firsthand, and I can say, yeah, you're right. While promoting his upcoming film Pig, Cage spoke with Variety, where he was talking about the film Disney and different styles of acting. There's Pig, not interested. Where is it? He's still talking about the lead film there. Then he switched to discussing about his own future in Disney. But as for me, I don't know if I'll ever go back. I don't know if I want to go back and make another Disney movie. It would be rather terrifying. It's a different climate there. There's a lot of fear. Cage doesn't elaborate on what he means, but he would discuss no experience making Jerry Bruckheimer blockbusters like The Rock and Con Air in the mid-90s. He explained he was making Jerry Bruckheimer movies back to back, and it was just a high pressure game. But there was also a lot of fun moments. But at the same time, there was also we wrote this line as it was said. Oh, okay, all right.
And it had to be said this way. So he's saying they wrote a line, and it must be said a particular way.
Oh, okay. Thank you. They put the camera on you, photograph you. Now, roller skate training wheels, blah, blah, blah. Right. On the independent movies, let's go back down here. So he does like to talk. So where was it? I've been through so much. I've seen so much clearly of the bullying taking place. I saw it before. I'm not the only one. Gina Carano picture below here, just to clarify. Not the only one who's ever been bullied by this company, and I know that I know this so deeply. She added, the long and short of it, it's just saying it's a pile of shit. I don't know. It's the Joker thing. It's not about the money. It's about sending a message. But there's loads of other bits in it too, and I think it is. There is a climate of fear. If you step out of line with their orthodoxy, then they turn around and say, "No, you can't be a movie star, and you can't star in this, and it's just like it's bullshit. And I realised something. I missed a bloody comment from Bilford before we moved on to the next story when we were doing Richard Donner stuff. I'll go back to that in a moment. So yeah, it's. I can understand. I don't know what's happened. I really don't know what's happened here for this to be like this. I just remember the good old days when it was all drugs and hookers. Yeah, it's like the chance of. It was like kind of if you wanted to get noticed, you go and do something stupid like Richard Grant did, where he pulled over a prostitute and got to give her a blowjob and got caught just so he could get his picture in a paper and get some publicity of any sort, shape, or description. Did wonders for his career and also did wonders for the prostitute's career because I think she went to the adult film industry after that.
Do you mean Hugh Grant?
Hugh Grant. Did I say Richard E. Grant?
You said Richard E. Grant.
Sorry. Oh, Richard E. Grant.
Two Richard Grants.
Nose. Richard E. Grant has kept a fucking clean nose, as far as I know.
And he does he does a program. Richard E. Grant does a program where he goes around all the best hotels in the world and shows them off.
Oh dear!
So he's so clean nosed. You know, he's doing that.
Oh dear! But it is a terrible thing. That it is, and we've heard stories and rumors and stuff, and we've witnessed bits, and the way they tell stories now is shit, and it's bad. So, right. So I meant to do this after the Richard Donner section. I forgot. The woke SJWs hate Donner's The Toy, starring Richard Pryor. It was mentioned in the article from an ME, but I've never seen it. The Toy. But I've never seen it on C. What's it about? I don't know what it's about. So that's a weird thing. So I don't know if it's a guy who makes toys. Is it what? I'm going to share my screen now. Hang on a second. I will see if I can find the trailer.
Apparently a comedy slapstick.
Yeah, in 1982. Let me view the page on this one so I can. It's on. I had to get it from the internet.
Oh, it's got Richard Pryor in it.
Pryor, and yes, Richard Pryor is great. It's annoying that he kind of, how can I put it, went down the way he did. So this is a trailer for. I've never heard of this film, but it's a Richard Donner film. I don't know if I'm sharing the sound on this one. Oh my god! It's buffering. What have I got settings on 1x speed? I was hoping to get the thingy. My god, no, it's the film. Sorry, that's the film. I haven't found.
I thought you found the trailer.
I found the whole film.
That's why it's taking
that's why it's taken a bit longer to buffer than normal. That's going into my favourites. I might have I'll find a trailer and see if I can go from there. Oh no, this is what I think it is. Hang on a second, I'll put this back on. Right, sorry guys, this is me dicking around. Let me go
all I can see is some boxes.
Yeah, you got the pictures this. I just found the trailer.
What do you give the kid who has everything?
Daddy said anything I wanted, anything in the store.
For Eric Bates, it was the only toy in his father's store
I know what I want.
that wasn't for sale.
What you're offering me is not a job, sir. It's an insult, and I'm insulted. I'm splitting.
Now, Jack Brown has been made an offer he can't refuse.
$10,000?
For that kind of money, if Eric blows his nose, you wipe it.
And if he can survive 1 week with Eric,
Was I bad?
What you were gave a new meaning to the word bad.
he may even find himself a friend.
If you want a friend, you don't buy a friend. You earn a friend.
Richard Pryor, Jackie Gleason, Ned Beatty, and Scott Schwartz in a Richard Donner film, The Toy.
Okay, all right.
That trailer just screamed 80s.
Yes, it did scream 80s. It's the premise sounds really bad.
Yeah.
But it looks like it goes in quite a nice direction later on. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
It starts off, this is terrible, we shouldn't be doing this, and then goes somewhere heartwarming.
Richard Pryor's saying that. I don't know his character's name, but he's saying, you shouldn't, no. fucking buy me. Yeah, I don't.
Do you know what that reminds me of? Do you ever watch Brewster's Millions? That's a great film. That's one film is like kind of if they were to remake Brewster's Millions, it would be terrible.
That trailer though just sort of takes you straight back to the 80s, doesn't it? The way they cut to the person and say the name, cut to the next person, cut to as they go, do it. Richard Pryor, thingy. It's like yeah, that's so 80s.
Yeah, it's
what happened
so
to Richard? You said something about
he didn't. I don't know if it didn't work out well for him. It was a bit of a tragic story. We'll cover it another time.
Okay.
If you read the backstory into it, people were just taking the piss out of him, and they would just ring him for every bit of cash they could get out of him. It's not a good end to someone's career. Anyway, let's move on to TV show and maybe some good news.
I know what you're about.
Star Trek Discovery may not return. Cancellation imminent.
But it's had a trailer. But
please be true.
But it has had a trailer for season 4.
Right, here's the funny thing. I heard a rumor that halfway through filming the current season, which is season 4, they run out of money. And they went to their people, and the people went, "No, we're not giving you any more money. You've pissed it all away. You're going to have to pay for it yourself." So if the distributors force another season, it will be so they can screw Secret Hideout and Bad Robot out of as much cash as possible because they did that to them. So if we get a 4th season, expect it to be extremely fucking low budget. It's just going to be all bridge stuff. Star Trek Discovery fans aren't going to want to hear this latest rumor, not even one bit. But has been some scuttlebutt. I must copy this stuff onto the bloody Word document where I can read it. Scuttlebutt, the latest series might be on life support on Paramount Plus, and this next season could be the last. Please be the last. Praise the Lord. While the decision would appear to be surprising, considering the critical favorite nature of the
it's going to get critical acclaim. Well, yeah, because they're always saying critical acclaim. Because who's this? What website is this on? Giant fucking robot. Who's that owned by? Probably UPS or Paramount Pictures. The thing is, right, it has had critical complaint by the woke media, because if you criticize this, you're immediately shot. Because how dare you criticize the whamming? And as this series is the whamming, fuck it. I hate Discovery. I think it's a pile of crap. It's full of ideology and no damn decent storytelling. I mean, seriously, fucking hell, time crystals.
Yeah, I know. That was
we had Klingon Hogwarts, for fuck's sake.
Yes. Yes, we can do that. Oh, hang on a second. Before we carry on, we haven't got to use this one in a while.
Hello, Dave.
Because Dave's in the comments.
Hey, Dave.
Hello, Dave.
Hello,
and
Dave.
Babster's in the comments. Hello, Babster.
Hey, Babster.
I watched some of your stream earlier, you playing No Man's Sky. I was going to ask to join, and then I realized I had to go to the gym. And I should have joined. I did a mile. Snuff. I did a mile. I ran a mile. That's good enough. My ankles don't like me.
So well on my PS4 anymore. My lowly, good old, reliable PS4, which is beginning to show its age. And I finished Days Gone, by the way.
Did you? Did you get the proper ending?
Yes. If you're talking about yes, if that's what you're talking about, yes, I did.
He shows up at the end and he turns around and goes, "The virus is mutating," and it's like, "Oh fuck!" Yes.
Genuinely loved this. Genuinely loved the story. The game was glitchy as hell on my PlayStation, and I do mean glitchy. But the story really good.
Yes.
But I wish killing what's his face at the end.
Scuzzo.
I wish you'd actually been able to kill him, you know, as opposed to it being really a cutscene. You kind of wanted that satisfaction of killing that fucker. But yeah, I'm about to go into lockdown with no PS5. Still bitter.
I got one delivered to my door, Keith, during lockdown.
I've got 2 PS5s.
No, you haven't.
No, I haven't. I just want to wind you up. I was thinking about getting an Xbox X series. Guess what comes out at the end of the month so I can play it? Flight Sim.
Oh,
I have to get that control stick that Babster got me fixed, and then you'll never see me ever again because it'll be Flight Sim on the Xbox and bloody Elite on the other one.
That game's amazing. Flight Sim, just the scenery creation. You know, I mean, I did a live stream with a couple of people playing that, and I gave them 2 airports, and seriously, the auto scenery generation is just phenomenal.
It's weird because it has to have an internet connection so I can download some of these bits as it's going along, but it's still really good. All right, let's move on to our next story. This one.
I need about 350.
350.
Jamila Jamil has confirmed she's been cast in She-Hulk. Model turned actress joins the titular character's revival. Rival. Anyway, yeah. So I don't know who she's playing. Yeah.
Well, it's not She-Hulk because that's
yeah. I'm just trying to think if there's a red version of She-Hulk because that's so yeah. She's how can I put it? She's as mad as a bag of cats. She was in a good place. She did a crazy documentary, and then she was famous for saying that she was scared of everyone.
Wasn't she a T4 presenter on Channel 4 back in the day?
I think she was a T4 presenter briefly.
Yeah, she was.
But it's one of those things. Right now, the She-Hulk TV series is going to have Daredevil in it. I want to see Daredevil again, and now I don't want to see Daredevil again because I like Daredevil. Daredevil's fucking cool.
It is a shame about this because the main lead in it, she's a fantastic actress, and she was utterly brilliant in Orphan Black. And I genuinely enjoyed Orphan Black. If you've never watched it, it's a BBC America series that was really good. And she played like how I think it was 8 or 9 different parts, and you, although they all looked the same, they were distinctly different characters, and she's a very good character actor, and it's a shame that she's in a Marvel series. Yeah. Don't get him started, Babster. Don't get him started.
Oh, don't we? The chair didn't go up without a fucking drama. He should have been on EastEnders. I'll be honest with you. That chair. That's how much drama was behind that.
Well, yeah.
Hang on. No.
Well.
I was actually going to say it made the average episode of EastEnders look like a walk in the park.
Oh, you
considering how much drama there was.
Oh, drama.
It was the fact that the chair went to the old Vic and ordered a pint that I was amazed at.
And the chair.
Where's the chair gone? It's down the old Vic.
Get out of my pub.
Get out of my pub. Yeah, you do need some LEDs. You do some LED. You need some night lighting.
Blue.
Yeah, blue lighting.
I might look for blue, maybe a bit of red, just so I can go with my my channel ID.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's go on to our next one.
And you will respect my authority.
Absolutely won't.
Tom Hiddleston responds to Loki season 2 revealed. I'm so excited by the possibilities. Now, I said that, and I might have adopted what he said. I'm so excited by the possibilities. Right. I hope season 1 was full of surprises, and I think season 2 will be even more. Oh, fuck it. I've lost it. As I said, I can't read it unless it's on the bloody Word doc. Tom Hiddleston has reported that news that Loki has been renewed for a second season, which was confirmed earlier this week. This is the only Marvel series that's going to have second season.
That's because it was the best one. Genuinely,
I don't know
it was the best one. It was the best out of the three. And actually, they kind of did. They did go through with something, you know. I mean, we'll get to it in the review. We've got to give it to them. They did it. They kind of did it. Kind of. It's not who everybody thinks it is. But
it reeks of Legends of Tomorrow. It really does.
It does.
It's the
but
door
they did
thing.
do that.
Everything.
They did do that kind of reveal. At least what we said. Oh, it's going to be. And no, it's not, because you know what they did, and they actually did kind of do it.
What did they do?
Kind of do it. I'll explain later in the review. They revealed kind of the big bad. Kind of, because the guy that you see in it isn't the big bad.
Way possible.
Yeah.
It
wasn't brilliant.
It was. Right, do you know what? I'll push the button now and we'll go into review mode. Engage review mode. There you go. Remove review mode. Engage. We start talking about Loki. So Nigel definitely saw Loki because we talked about it. We didn't talk about it last week on the podcast, but we talked about it.
I've seen the last episode as well, so I know what happens at the end of the episode.
So right, overall, I just want how you feel about the series in the smallest amount of words possible. So we'll start with Nigel, and then I'll go to Keith, and then we'll go to me.
I liked it. I liked the way it built from the start through to the end. I like the end because that could be endless possibilities as to where they go and what they do. And that is what intrigues me the most about next season.
Okay, your turn, Keith.
I didn't hate it.
You didn't hate it?
I didn't hate it. It didn't disappoint me like WandaVision, where it teased stuff like Mephisto in WandaVision and you didn't get it. When it teased who it teased in this, at least they kind of went through with it. Okay, it gave us Immortus, but you know, it was still kind of cool.
What's Immortus?
Well, the dude at the end is Kang the Conqueror. That's the next big bad. Immortus. Yeah. Immortus.
Immortus.
Kang the Conqueror is the next Thanos level baddie, right?
Is he?
Kind of. Well,
it's for this TV series, and that's the only place it's going to stay.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
It'll be the only person.
Ant-Man and the
You'll
Wasp.
get Annihilus. You'll get Annihilus instead.
Well, yes, but it's the same actor. So basically, Kang the Conqueror, there's loads of different versions of him throughout the multiverse, right?
So I said to Keith, I said, sum the thing up, and then I'll have a go, and he didn't let me have my go. So I'm really disappointed.
Hold your thought, Keith. Hold your thought.
Sorry, he asked me the question.
Right. Ready? Here we go. What the fuck? What the fuck? What? Why? Why like that? That's my review.
I don't understand.
It'll make sense when we can finish at the end of this. I'm hoping all our summary reviews will make sense when we get to the end of this. All right. So yeah, Keith's going on about Kang the Conqueror. Kang the Conqueror is the fucking Anti-Monitor, isn't he?
Yes.
He's the fucking Marvel's version of the Anti-Monitor. It's even got the same bloody backstory.
Yes.
From the future, multiple versions. They all fight. One good stays, one bad stays in the Anti-Monitor situation. But Kang just got one bad. Apparently, he's supposed to be. I know fuck all about Kang the Conqueror.
I know.
Seriously, when I said Kang the Conqueror, I thought the guy from fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the brain in the thing. I've Krang the Conqueror.
No, I know Kang. I know a bit about the Kang the Conqueror. He's not. They are marketing him as a Thanos level bad guy. He's not.
No, he's not. You can't take Thanos in the fight.
He's very much a kind of mid-level bad guy, but he turns up in a lot of comics, or versions of him turn up in the comics. So you've got Kang the Conqueror, who's the one that the statue is at the end of in the TVA. But then you've
No, you
got
don't know if
Immortus.
that's Kang. No, that's not Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah, but he's wearing the
That's
Kang
a
the
version.
Conqueror.
He wasn't wearing the hat. He was just him without the hat. No hat, no Kang the Conqueror, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, okay, so
Needs the hat.
Ant-Man
It's
Quantum
the
Mania
captain wears a captain's hat. The Kang Conqueror wears Kang Conqueror hat.
So,
it's that simple.
So the guy that was playing, you know, He Who Remains, as what Miss Minutes calls him, is cast as Kang, the Kang in Quantum Mania. We knew that he was turning up in this. A lot of people were going, "Oh, they're going to show him in Loki," and a lot of people were going, "No, I don't think so. We're not going to get that tease because look what they did in WandaVision." They at least went through with it. When you, and there were loads of hints. There was like a fucking Kang, what's his face building, which was rebadged, the rebadged Avengers building in episode 5 during the sort of weird world that they were in. There was the colors, obviously, of the Citadel towards the end, which were purple and green. That was very much on purpose. So there was numerous things in there. But I genuinely, I didn't hate this series. I like Tom Hiddleston. It was not as, you know, idealistic as a lot of the other Marvel stuff was. And having watched Black Widow, which genuinely is not a good film, this was better. It opens possibilities, but the problem is, and all of these possibilities could be good, because Kang the Conqueror turns up a lot with the Fantastic Four as well. So he turns up a lot in the Fantastic Four comics. So again, we've had another hint at the Fantastic Four and the X-Men. He turns up in X-Men. He turns up everywhere. Basically, Nige, he's kind of like, there's multiple versions of him. But Gaff is kind of right. Had we not had Legends of Tomorrow, this would have been better. But because we had Legends of Tomorrow and because we had the whole what's-its-face DC thing with the Monitor and Anti-Monitor, this is kind of a copy.
Yes, it feels like a copy. Right. Okay. So
you say it like I've seen Legends of Tomorrow.
No, but you saw. Did you watch any of the Arrow crossover? What was it called?
The Arrowverse thing.
Crisis.
Yeah, Crisis. Yeah, that's So the Monitor in that Kang is similar to.
Well, he did say. I remember when he was talking to the Lokis, he did say, "I'm one of many. You kill me, many will spring up, and it'll be infinitely worse." So I'm assuming that's what's going to happen.
He's not entirely wrong. But we don't know how big Kang will be in this. There are other hints towards what could happen, but they're definitely going down the multiverse route. I mean, you know, they've pretty much touched on the multiverse throughout every single thing recently.
They're definitely going that way because he, that man, showed from his wrist thing. He had those little things as he was telling the story, and he went, "This is a multiverse," and he had 3 different universes. So they're definitely going down that road.
And we know, despite being the worst kept secret, and despite the denials after denials after denials, we damn well know that Spider-Man 3 is going to have Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in it. We know it. So bearing in mind that we've got bad guys from both of their universes cast in the movie, so it's the worst kept fucking secret ever. Just release the trailer already. You know, just show us the 3 Spider-Man. Yeah, it's blatantly obvious where Spider-Man 3 is going. And it is going to toe they're going to do a comic book storyline, right? I can tell you how Spider-Man 3 is going to end. Doctor Strange is going to turn up and he's going to reset it so people forget who Peter Parker is, because this is following a different thing. But Peter Parker's sacrifice is that Mary Jane forgets who he is. That's how Spider-Man 3 is going to end. I'm telling you now. They're going to toe
and
that.
And then finally get a ginger girlfriend. MJ. I don't know what's going on. Apparently, this is the funny thing is, apparently when Kevin Feige was interviewed and they were talking about all these things connected up, he turns around and goes, "Before the pandemic, we planned to have a big whiteboard with all the storylines and bits put together on it." never got around to it. So I don't know if Kang Conqueror is going to show up in the way that you think it's going to.
Do you know what I think? I think we're going to end up. I mean, the Eternals is going to be bad, right?
Oh god, yeah.
I've got a sneaking suspicion that we're going to end up liking Shang-Chi. I've just got a suspicion that Shang-Chi actually might be all right, and it's not going to be what we think it is, and it might actually be good. But I think it's going to be the only
lead
one.
actor has got no appeal. That's the problem. I'm more interested in the Mandarin.
Yeah, but
Seriously.
that's why I think it might be quite cool.
So, all right, Nige, what did you think? Considering you're the normie, so you're the weather barometer on this one.
You normie.
You're the normie.
Well, yeah. Throughout the whole series, I was sort of wondering where it was all leading, and the final episode did sort of. I like the character development between Loki and Morbius. Is it Morbius? Owen Wilson's character.
It's Mobius.
Mobius
is the living vampire. Mobius is the dude in the suit.
Okay. I don't know the vampire thing, but yes. I like their friendship blossom. I like it. And even though the female Loki was using Loki, she still at the end didn't sort of trust him. Went and did her own thing despite Loki going, I think we should listen. She still went, nah, kicked him out and then killed the man. So that sort of shows that she didn't have much of an arc, really. She was fairly the same all the way through, whereas Loki seems to have tweaked and changed his personality. He's had a bit of a journey, I would say, with Loki, and so is Mobius. But then the woman who is in charge of the TVA, they didn't tie her off. They didn't really show what was going on with
they've got. I think they got something going on with her for the second season. So
yeah, there was no. In the last episode, they showed one of the. I think it was number 21. I can't remember her name. She was showing the rest of the guards who she was in her before she was taken away. So she was a school teacher, blah, blah, blah. And it went nowhere. There was no reason.
You've touched on something which, if Gareth actually thinks about it, might worry him a bit. She's Rain Slayer, and she is effectively the kind of a girlfriend of Kang the Conqueror, but she could be replacing Kang as the big bad, knowing how Marvel are going at the moment. So that's why she's going to turn up in season 2, trust me.
Well, she disappeared, didn't she? So she wasn't killed, she wasn't eliminated, she wasn't sent to the end of the earth or whatever. She disappeared through a door. And really, I thought that there would be a bunch of people from the guards who know who she is and who that she's been lying to them the entire time, storm into the room to try and take her and her run away. But it wasn't. It was just Morbius. So I didn't see the point in her telling all the guards. There wasn't any in that respect. Maybe it was next season, but
I would have preferred it if he would have given her one of the 10 pads or whatever they call them, lady pads, and then he rigged it up so she just like walks into it and just gets disintegrated as a thing. That would have been better because you can still exist because they got the multiverse bits now. But yeah, I was just scratching my head with a load of stuff because I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. It felt season felt like if I watched this one episode after the other, it would feel disjointed. The dude felt like the Anti-Monitor when I came across him.
I know what you mean. I kind of enjoyed episode 5 because I obviously wasn't here for that review. I quite enjoyed Richard E. Grant as old man Loki. And I kind of loved the crocodile
I love
Loki.
that.
I thought that was genius. And the bit where he bites off the hand of one, that was kind of cool. Episode 5 was genuinely probably one of my favorite episodes. If I had to pick an individual episode, only because I just thought it kind of worked. It was insane, and they even put the fucking Thanos copter in there. I loved that. I loved that.
I was like,
and
oh,
Frog
God,
4.
no.
And Frog 4, yeah, but that was a joke. That was taking the piss because it genuinely was bad that in the was it 70s that Thanos was going around in a yellow helicopter with Thanos written on it. I mean, genuinely, that was not Marvel's golden age. But then you have Frog 4, who it turns out was actually voiced by what's his face.
Chris Hemsworth.
So when you hear that frog making the rabbit sound, that's what's his face. Genuinely. They released it afterwards of him recording that.
What I did like, I like the guy playing the whatever his name is, the End of Time man. What was it? I don't know his name.
Well,
I really liked the way he was, the way he was putting across everything. It was captivating, really, as a normie. The way he was speaking, different inflections on his voice, and the way he was doing stuff, it was quite captivating. It was like sitting there just watching.
I am. The thing is, I've got mixed emotions. I know exactly where Gareth is coming from, and I want to, because I am a comic book fan. I'm a Marvel fan. But I have huge problems since Avengers Endgame, as you know, but he was interesting, and I'd like to see him as Kang, as full blown, evil Kang, and we're going to see that. But that was, although they didn't call him by name, going on the way the comics are, he was the Immortus version of Kang, or the Monitor version. He's the Monitor, not the he is effectively the equivalent of the Monitor. And I don't think it was any mistake that he was cast as Black, because again, I think we're kind of copying sort of, the whole sort of DC on TV universe, which is shite.
Yeah.
Except with the exception of Superman.
I don't care. He was fantastic in that.
Yeah, he was good.
He absolutely captivated me with what he was saying. I was like, bloody hell. Like everything, he had that slight hint of insanity to it, but then he sort of, I don't care.
No,
it seemed quite good, that bit.
I agree with you.
The fact that he got to the point in the timeline where he goes, oh, just past the point where I don't know.
But the look on his face when that happened, and the fear, and he managed to capture all of that. He's a very talented actor. I'll give him that. It's just
That's what I mean. He managed to portray the what I was expecting, really. But yeah, I thought it was really, really, really good. It was just a bit at the end.
I would have preferred Will Smith doing it, because he would have sung the theme tune and written the theme tune.
Now this is the story of Kang the Conqueror.
The theme tune would have played
turned up
during the fight.
Yes. All right, let's move on to our last bit. Right. This is an old one, but I found it because I needed to find some interesting story. I couldn't find anything from a normal source. No sex toys or anything like that going wrong. But a leprechaun in Mobile, Alabama was spotted just before St. Patrick's Day. And take a second.
Well, just in time for St. Patrick's Day, crowds are coming by the dozens to get an up-close view at what some say is a piece of Irish folklore.
Some people in the Crichton area of Mobile say a leprechaun is taking up residence in their neighborhood. A leprechaun. NBC 15's Brian Johnson has more.
Curiosity leads to large crowds in Mobile's Crichton community. Many of you bringing binoculars, camcorders, even camera phones to take pictures.
To me, it look like a leprechaun to me. All you gotta do is look up in the tree. Who else seen the leprechaun? Say yeah!
Eyewitnesses say the leprechaun only comes out at night. If you shine a light in its direction, it suddenly disappears. This amateur sketch resembles what many of you say the leprechaun.
That's the bit that got me. It's that.
Oh,
God, this a leprechaun. It's not, I don't know, a slipper with a pair of eyes drawn on it.
That is not a police sketch.
Oh, no, that's sorry for the.
They need to look at their hiring policy of that.
Oh,
police
dude,
sketch artist.
Most basic bitch sketch you could possibly imagine.
They got
where's the beard?
to draw it.
Don't leprechauns have beards? I'm a leprechaun. That's a freaking horror movie. If you've ever seen it.
Yes, that was Warwick Davis was the leprechaun.
Yes.
But yes, that's the amateur sketch. That's the bit that made me laugh. Is when I saw that, I was like,
brilliant.
Leprechaun looks like. Others find it hard to believe and have come up with their own theories and explanations for the image.
My theory is it's casting a shadow from the other limbs.
Could be a crackhead. They got
Could be a crackhead.
told him to get up on the tree and play a leprechaun.
Ain't got no time for that.
Don't be afraid, man.
This guy helping to direct traffic says he's prepared for his encounter with the leprechaun. He's suited up from head to toe.
This wars off spells right here. This is a special leprechaun flute, which has been passed down for thousands of years.
That's a bit of piping.
That's some piping. It's not special anything. It's just made it up.
Hang on a second. That's from scaffolding. Sorry.
That is scaffolding where you put
That's
two
a bit of
pipes
scaffolding.
together.
You use it to fit together, and you then put the bolts through it.
That's it,
from my great-great-grandfather who was Irish. I just came to help out.
Others just came to get lucky in hopes a pot of gold may be buried under this tree.
I'm going to run a backhoe and uproot that tree. I want to know.
This is like, okay.
I reckon somebody who's, I don't know, chucked a pair of earrings up there and it's on maybe a necklace or something that's got a couple of things that reflect. And they're up in the tree somewhere. And then when someone's like looking around and go with a torch, they go, oh my God. And it's just a reflection,
Yes.
But then it's breeded everybody going down there going, oh, I've seen it. And then everyone else comes down, oh, I've seen it too, it
was the sketch because I watched, I went to try and find it, but when I got that sketch, I was just like, oh man, it was. The thing is, I don't know who in the group is serious and who is just having a laugh and just joining in, just because it's funny. That's the thing that I find entertaining because I would like to think that 80% of these people know that it's not real and they are just having a laugh because it's funny.
I suspect that they're taking the piss.
I do suspect they're taking the piss, especially out of the thing.
Somebody said it probably started by just somebody going, oh, I saw something in a tree, and then Whispers got round because he was only playing a joke on his mate. Whispers got round, people started coming up, and then they heard the news were coming and go, right, we've really got to play this up now.
I think someone saw a slipper.
It's got out of hand.
Given that drawing, it's a slipper. They saw a slipper late at night. Oh, it's leprechaun. It's a fucking slipper.
Why does that even look like a leprechaun?
I don't know, but it made me laugh really hard when I saw it. So, yes. Anyway.
Good.
I think it's time we wrap this one up. Next week, Keith and I are going to try something new. We're going to try a kind of game show, quizcom sort of thing called Factoids. Now, if you know what a factoid is, it's something that sounds like a fact. Yeah, because people get factoids confused with factlets, which are small, tiny bits of trivia. So there you go. We'll be including stuff like that in our show. So we'll be putting it together. I've found a theme tune. I've written the theme tune. I've sung the theme tune. That's a lie. I found a theme tune. So next Saturday, I don't know what time, but keep an eye out. We're going to try something new, see if it gets any traction and see if anyone likes it. So come join us for that. And then the Monkey Nut Punch podcast and hopefully getting Face Punch podcast during the week with me and Nige. Just got to figure out what time we can do it because Nige is doing stuff always. And on that note, guys, say goodbye.
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 And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.
I don't know if you spotted it, but it was a story about leprechaun. Nigel's on the stream. Ma!